Okay. Hey guys, my name is Monica Gerken, and I'm the McDonald County 4-H YPA. Today I'm going to be going over some basic animal husbandry points. So Animal Husbandry 101. And to start you off, I'm going to start off with some definitions. So these are just some points, some words that I think that everyone should know if they are going to be involved in raising livestock. And it's good for you to know just if you have a pet or anything like that. So first off, what is animal husbandry? So that is the science of breeding and caring for farm animals to better their environment and productivity. So basically, we have domestic animals now. They rely on us. We are their caregivers. We are their providers. So it's our job to ensure that they are taken care of, that they're happy and healthy and have everything that they need. Next is ruminant. So this is an herbivore that chews the cud regurgitated from its rumen. So that's a compartment in their stomach. So instead of having one compartment, they have four. Ruminants comprise mostly of cattle, sheep, deer, giraffes, and other herbivores that are relatives of those animals. Next, we have monogastric. A monogastric organism has a simple single-chambered stomach. So a human is actually monogastric. The digestive system of monogastric starts to work as soon as food enters the mouth. Saliva moistens the food and begins the digestive process. So main examples of those would be swine, dogs, cats, and then, like I said, humans. And then on a branch note from that, hindgut fermentation is a digestive process seen in monogastric herbivores. So animals with a single, simple chambered stomach. However, they use cellulose and it's digested with the aid of symbiotic bacteria. And then microbial fermentation occurs in their digestive organs that follow the small intestine. So they have a large intestine, but they also have something called a cecum. So that is horses and rabbits. Okay, just to give you a little visual, I've made a chart here and divided them ruminant, monogastric, and then hindgut fermentations. I did provide you guys with their scientific names. However, I am probably not going to try to pronounce some of these. So I've also provided you with their common names as well. So we'll go through a couple. So ruminants, like I said, cattle, goats, sheep, those are all livestock, and actually deer are on there as well. And most of you probably think of deer as just the wildlife. And we actually have several deer farms in the southwestern region. So they are under livestock category as well. And then, like I said, for monogastrics, canine dogs, chickens fall under that. They're livestock, of course. And then we have the hindgut fermentators as well. Okay, so there are four basic needs for all living things. That would be water, food, shelter, and then mineral and vitamins. Clean water. It is absolutely vital to all livestock, animals, us, humans. So we have to have clean water. And then food. It has to be adequate to meet the energy needs of the animal. So let's say you have a dog, he's really high energy. You have a cat and maybe he's a senior cat and he really doesn't use that much energy. So they would have two different types of food. One would provide more protein, more energy for the puppy, and then the senior cat food would probably be easier to digest and would focus more on just maintaining their health. Okay. Shelter, something or somewhere animals can go to get away from the elements. So there could be trees, a barn, there's lots of options there, but basically just some way that they can step out of the elements for a minute. And then finally, mineral and vitamin. So just like us, animals need minerals, they need vitamins. That helps maintain, their healthy fur, bones. They need good eyesight. Helps regulate their temperature. So lots of things like that. All right. So here I've added, we're going to go a little bit deeper into those 4 categories. Starting with water. So like I said, we need to have fresh and convenient source of water. And I've labeled some pictures to the side there. So we've got bad water, and then we have good water. So here's some good automatic waters, this tire water right here, and then the ball water right here. Those are both automatic waters. So they are constantly providing new fresh water. And then we have this like river kind of creek flowing here. That obviously is providing a lot of fresh water too, since it's constantly moving. Now for bad water, you can see that this is just super, super muddy. It's not fun for the cows to stand in. None of them are wanting to stand in it to go get a drink. That's just not a very convenient, not fresh source. And then the pond on the bottom obviously has that water's been sitting there for quite a while. It's turning green. You can see the algae in it. The cows are standing in it, which means that they're also like going to the bathroom in it. They're dragging other particles in with their feet. So it's just not a clean, fresh source of water. Okay. It needs to be easy access. So all of these seem fairly easy access, right? None of them are down deep, like in a hole or behind a fence. They all have clear ways to get to the water. We just need for these 2 bad waters to be cleaner. Okay. And then we have cleaned regularly. So ponds are not known for being cleaned regularly, which is why this one at the bottom there is turning green, because it really needs to be probably dug out. The 2 automatic waters, those probably get drained 1 to 2 times a year. And then the farmer rancher usually probably takes a shovel or something and scrapes any algae that has formed in the bottom or any loose hay particles, fiber particles that have fallen out of the cow's mouths. The best one for cleaned regularly would be this stream. And that's, like I said, because it constantly is moving. So it's kind of self-cleaning and moving all that stuff downstream. And then at the bottom, those are once again, just some options for some good water. Okay. Moving on, we are gonna go to food. So like I said, food must meet the nutrient needs of the animal. So still need to know your animal, know what you're feeding, and make sure that that meets the requirements. So if you live in a really cold climate, and you're probably going to need to feed different food than if you lived in a really warm climate. Quality over quantity. So we want to feed higher quality foods so that we don't feed as much. You can feed an animal lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, but if it's bad quality, it's not going to do what you think it should, or it's not going to help them in any way, just feeding lots of it. Quality over quantity. And then pasture maintenance. This is key to a happy and healthy livestock. So let's see here. Down here, we have this beautiful pasture, and then you can see it here too with the hay bales. So this pasture is very well maintained. There's no brambles, there's no sticks showing. It's clean. It doesn't have any overgrown grasses, and because of that, the grasses that it is growing are coming up really lush. There's a lot of it. It's nice and green. Really, really great managed pasture. And then over here, we have the hay pasture, and then that's what this is too. So they obviously mowed this and baled it, which is great. That's a great way to maintain your pastures as well. All right. Let's see here. And then we have grain. So up here in the corner, I have listed some grain that's pretty common when you're talking about livestock feed. So wheat, sorghum, corn, soybean meal, barley. Corn is actually your #1 grain supplement used in livestock. Like I said, grain is meant to be a supplement or a grower. A lot of livestock are created to live off the land. So we use grain as more of a supplement to enhance those natural features and to make them go faster so they grow faster. Okay. Shelter and environment. Alrighty. Okay. So get all these out of there. So shelter environment. We need clean barns, mowed pastures, good fencing. Like I said earlier, all these farms in this picture are very clean. The pastures are all nice and clean. These are great examples of good shelter and environment. And then adequate space. So dogs, livestock, hobby farming, whatever you do, make sure that you have adequate space for that animal. Space for them to be outside if they want, or if you want them to. Make sure that they have a space to get away from mud. Make sure that they have adequate shelter, that kind of stuff. Make sure that you have the room to occupy the amount of animals that you have and the type of animal that you have. Okay. Know your directions. Don't place an open-faced barn facing north. So that's where all the cold wind and stuff comes from. And the point of having a shelter is so the animals can get out of that. Face them usually south. That's because that warm air and stuff, the animals don't really mind that as much. So always know your directions when you're putting up your shelters. And then prepare your shelter for the season. So if you look, I have put a picture of a chicken coop, and there is a light. It's actually a heat lamp, and it says on there that this light is on a timer. So it probably comes on at night when it's really cold and stays on during nighttime. And then when it's morning time again, it shuts off. So that's just a way to help these chickens out with their regular day heat. Another thing that you can do to help prepare your shelter for the cold season would be straw. So in the open-faced dog kennel, they have a lot of straw, and straw is a great insulator for animals to be out in the cold in. And chicken coop has some too. Up top, you see a feedlot, and they have a giant shade canvas, and that allows for all of those cows to stand in the shade, but it also allows for easy cleanup underneath it. There's no walls or anything to go around. So that's a great shelter for that space. Right. Next, minerals and vitamins. So like I said, animals need vitamins and minerals just like we do. And one of the ways that they get those are through salt licks. And that is what this is right here. This is a salt lick. And then this is a salt lick. And this is a salt lick. And then this guy up here, it says, give me my vitamins. So that's a bull, and there are several different types of mineral in this mineral feeder. So he goes up to it, lifts the lid, and smells the mineral to see what he needs, and then he can choose through that. Now, a lot of salt licks have more than just salt in them. So most of them have calcium, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, iron, little bitty minerals that are still essential for life, but we don't need as much of, okay? And then vitamin A. So that's one of the most important vitamins that is probably lacking in your livestock feed. It's required for growth, reproduction, helps with milk production, and the maintenance of just normal resistance to respiratory infections. All green growing crops are rich in carotene, which animals can convert into vitamin A. So if you see your dog eating grass or something like that, he's probably missing some kind of vitamin A vitamin mineral. So cows, horses, sheep, a lot of them are usually all right with vitamin A. And if you go to any feed store or anywhere that sells feed minerals, Usually those are already pre-mixed and are safe to go out and you just dump them out for your animals according to the packaging. Okay. Next, I have some body part IDs. This is a cow, obviously. This is a Hereford cow. And so I'm a huge fan of Hereford cows. This is what I chose to kind of just give you guys a visual on, you know, where things are. And so livestock